Good morning, everybody. My name is Irodedu, and I'm the Managing Director for the Global Shea Alliance. We are an industry association for Shea that seeks to promote the advancement of the shea industry so that we have sustainable supply, we have sustainable landscapes, and then we have empowered women and farmers to produce it for us. I'm here today to present at this event, and really thanks to the organizers for always inviting the GSA. I'll be presenting you today on sustainable sourcing of shea. So we have a saying that, the paradox of the paradoxa, where a lot of information in the public knowledge now is on shea use in cosmetics. Everybody knows that shea butter is used in cosmetics. But traditionally, the main use of shea is in food across 21 countries where it grows, and mostly in West Africa. It is used as an oil, as an edible oil for frying foods, for preparing stew, and also for hair and body care. Over the last 5-6 decades, European traders, started testing on shea, and then identified some compositions in it, some properties in it that was good for, for other uses from the European and the international market. So trading in shea started several years ago, but until the early 2000s, when the European Union passed the law to allow for the use of 5% of the weight of a bar of chocolate, that is what spiked the demand for shea. So this law says that you can use an ingredient called cocoa butter equivalent, which is a mix of vegetable oil plus palm oil, and one of those vegetable oil is shea. It's called shea stearin. There are other vegetable oils found around the world that can also be used, but the main ingredient in there is shea stearin. It is mixed with palm fraction to produce the CBE. Since this law came into effect, we have seen over 1,200 new applications on the global market in a variety of food applications across the world. And as a result, 85% of all shea exported goes into the food industry as cocoa butter equivalent, and then 15% is used in cosmetics. If you eat chocolate in Europe, any chocolate in Europe, you are most likely to eat something that has a trace of shea butter. So shea is only found in Africa. It grows in about 21 countries across East and West Africa. There are two varieties. The one in East Africa is Vitellaria nilotica, and the one in West Africa is Vitellaria paradoxa. The main difference is the composition of the stearin and then the olein. Now, the composition in the shea in West Africa has more of the stearin, whereas the one in East Africa has more of the olein. That is the reason why you see most of the international trading in shea comes out of West Africa. It's because of the stearin content and its application as a CBE. Now, if you look at the diagram on my left, it's a tree that is found across the Sahelian zone. Women collect the fruit. You can actually eat the pulp around it, and then they process the kernel that is found in the fruit. Now, you process it by removing the pulp, parboiling it for a couple of minutes, drying it, cracking it, and then removing the kernel in the shell. Then you dry the kernel itself for a couple of days as well. You bag it and then you store it. Once it's stored, you can transform it into butter in two ways, industrially and traditionally. So traditionally, there's a long process where women, crush it, they roast it, they mill it, they knead it, and then they boil it, and then they get the butter. But there are machines around now that large factories run through, both cold press and other technologies available now to extract the butter or the oil from the kernel at the industrial level. Once that is done, they fractionate it through, again, another technology to separate the oil into the main properties they are looking for. So you get, when you fractionate the shea butter, you get stearin, olein, and latex. Stearin is the main ingredient and the most expensive because it goes into the, as a CBE. Olein mostly was used for soap making across West Africa. But then now it's beginning to also find its way into the food industry, like in Madrid and other places. The latex is sold on the local market. Another technology available is the handcrafted butter that women do at the village level. You can refine it to be able to ensure a uniform quality of the butter. Because if you have, say, 20, 30, 1,000 women processing shea with their hand, there are varieties in the quality that each person produces. So the refining removes all impurities and standardizes the quality for you. But the refining is mostly done for the shea destined for the cosmetic industry. And the fractionation is also mostly done for shea destined for use in the food industry. So once it's refined, it goes into application as, in different cosmetic products. And once it's fractionated, the companies, I think, sell the shea stearin onto their client, or some of them that produce CBE themselves also just goes on to produce the CBE and then sell that onto to the chocolate industry. Now, the confectionery market is what is currently driving the demand for shea. And a few examples I would point out to relate to regulations. Regulatory changes around the world has really impacted the demand for shea in the confectionery industry. So the United States, FDA gave approval for shea stearin, as GRAS certified. So they recognize shea olein itself as generally regarded as safe. And as a result, it can be used in different types of food applications, in bakery, margarine, candies, cookies. And then we estimate that as a result of this regulatory change, export is going to increase by about 10,000 metric tons annually. Now, India also made some regulatory changes, and even though shea is not part of the vegetable oils that are approved now, we see that a future situation where shea is allowed beyond the current listed vegetable oil, demand is also going to increase a lot. China also has made regulatory changes, and shea can now be used in chocolate, candy, ice cream, bakery products, and for frying as well. We've seen over 38.3% increase in growth of export from West Africa into China. And one of the most important regulatory change that has come is the US FDA temporary marketing permit that has been granted for shea stearin in chocolate use. Companies can now put a product with CBE, same as they have in Europe, under the TMP regulatory change, and then based on the consumer feedback, they get back to US FDA, and then they can now get the full authorization to use CBEs. The GSA is currently working on the modalities on how the private sector and chocolate companies can take advantage of this TMP that has come at the US FDA. So with all of these important updates on the use of Shea, with the market growing, do we have enough Shea available? Yes, there is enough Shea, and a lot more can be planted actually. So we estimate that there are about 2 billion trees currently available in East and West Africa, mostly in West Africa. The trees produce about 2 million metric tons annually, and half of that, 1 million metric tons, is collected. The other 1 million that is not collected is due to a variety of reasons. Assessing them is very challenging because of where they are located, quite dangerous. And then also compensation. Sometimes, the amount of work required to collect it, transport it, and bring it, and then a compensation for it. So women do, cost-benefit analysis, and then if they find the opportunity cost for collecting Shea, is high, then they will do the other thing. From this 1 million metric tons, about 550,000, around 500,000, is consumed across West Africa, mostly as a vegetable oil, and also in East Africa, and then again as cosmetic product. Then the other 45 to 50% is what is exported into the global food supply chains. You have big factories in West Africa that does the initial processing, that even does the fractionation, as well as refining. So the raw materials are sent to these factories. They are transformed into butter, into stearin, and then olein, and then they are shipped out of West Africa into the global food market. So why is the other 1 million not collected? If you are really looking at ensuring supply sustainability, why do we have some that is not collected? There are two factors. Access. Some of these fruits are found very far away and in remote places that requires a lot of effort before people can reach them. Also, there are some, some of them in reserve parklands where you can't go, or where going there can be a bit dangerous. So access to these nuts or these fruits is a big hindrance to women collectors collecting all of the fruits that forth. Another hindrance is compensation. Between the woman collector and the final buyer, you find several traders, middle people. And what the final buyers pay, sometimes the women don't even get about half of it. When that happens, there's not a lot of encouragement. The women look at the cost-benefit analysis, right? Before they go and collect. Would they get more money doing something instead of collecting Shea? Then they will go and do that. So when these two issues are addressed, then we think that supply can increase extensively. Beyond the supply, is there any competition? Yes, there is. Shea has some competition around the world. There are other vegetable oils that can be used for CBE. So in the EU regulation that allowed for CBE in chocolate, they listed other oils. So you can use sal, lipi, cocoa butter, and mango butter. Beyond these vegetable oils, other regulations, for example, in Japan and other Asian countries, allow for, enzymatically modified sunflower, which performs the same function as Shea stearin. And once these become mainstream and are authorized around the world, then Shea will really see very big competition. But for now, the volume of Shea is so much, and its functionality is so perfect that, the other vegetable oils are not able to compete Shea as a major ingredient for producing CBEs. Are there opportunities for growth? Yes. The GSA believes that there are going to be new applications that in the food industry, like in the vegan, in the margarine, and even across West Africa, where we see urban populations in West Africa begin to eat shea oil as a main vegetable oil. We also see that cost is an opportunity. Shea is relatively not expensive compared to other commodities, and so it allows for, compared to cocoa, and so it allows for companies to be able to do very good economics on, introducing CBE into their chocolates that allows them to even access new markets. Cost is a component for Shea to grow globally. Then functionality. Shea is very flexible. You speak to the chocolate companies, and the companies that uses the CB, it's very flexible and adaptable. It has a high melting point, and it has different properties that makes it possible for companies to produce chocolates for different geographic markets around the world. Shea is also sustainable. Nobody plows land or destroys forests to plant the trees. The trees grow on their own. Human beings protect them, and so it's a sustainable product. And that sustainability story around it is an opportunity for the industry to grow. Now, a lot of consumers are not aware that they are consuming Shea in the chocolate that they consume. Now, when they become more aware of the properties of Shea, the health benefit of consuming Shea, then it will also be an opportunity for Shea to go. And then finally, regulations. As regulatory changes come around the world, it opens up new markets for Shea. Now, in order to be able to produce more Shea, ensure that the Parklands are existing and that there is enough supply, a lot of actions are required to be able to produce Shea sustainably in the right volumes at the right price, and then and then also for the market. We need to make a lot of investment in landscape restoration, really to protect the trees that are there currently from being cut down. We need to support the GSA Action for Shea. We need to support activities such as the Action for Shea by the Global Shea Alliance, as well as the Great Green Wall Initiative, so that the existing stock of trees are protected. And then there's the need to also invest in alternative fuel wood so that people won't cut these trees down for firewood. And then there should be a lot of effort on women empowerment, such as making sure that women get living income for the work that they do from Shea, as well as introducing alternative livelihood activities in order to make sure that continuously supply comes to the markets and then ensure a sustainable industry. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Aaron, for joining us here at Confectionery Live and taking the time to share some information into the Shea industry. Now, do you want to talk about the Shea industry here today?
Thank you very much, Caitlin, and good afternoon to your listeners. Yeah, a very interesting question. We find this platform as a very important platform to educate the world, especially consumers, of different confectionery foods or different confectionery products by the use of Shea in confectionery, right? You have a situation where most people who hears about shea butter think that it is the skin product, is mainly used in cosmetics. Meanwhile, 85% or more of all shea exported goes into the food industry. It's used as cocoa butter equivalent. It's used in a variety of different food applications. So this is a platform for us to explain the history behind it and the fact that originally it's a source of oil in West Africa where it comes from. And so it's perfect, also as an ingredient for confectionery food globally. So really, it's an opportunity for us to educate the world around it, and we are happy to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. In your presentation, Aaron, you spoke about the growing number of applications Shea has been used in. Have you seen this have a positive impact on the industry?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Over the last decade and a half, export has increased by over 600% from, a little below 100,000 a decade ago, a decade and a half ago, to over 500,000 metric tons now. So you can see the impact, right? But for coronavirus, the demand was going to increase. It stopped a bit, but then it started, picking up again. And it's not just in the dominant markets in Europe, where for a decade that is where the export went to, the usage was, but it's now expanding into Asia, into North America, and in other places around the world. Yes, export has increased, and we've seen that it is as a result of this increasing application in a variety of food products.
It's great to see, certainly. And you also spoke about using it as an ingredient in food. It was not previously seen as safe. Why do you think this is, and why do you think it is now being approved and things have changed?
Well, it has always been safe, but before you can use any food product in any new market, the regulatory authorities need to be sure that whatever is used or whatever is being introduced for a particular purpose is safe. So long ago, before this recent GRAS, GRAS certification for Shea Olay, Shea was certified GRAS, generally regarded as safe, but it said Shea oil. So it was not very distinct enough. So for a long time, Shea oil was GRAS certified, but the recent regulatory change allows for specific ingredient in shea butter to be, GRAS certified as well. And that enables its application in different types of food products around the world, and here in the United States. So it was safe. It's just the regulations catching up with the realities, and which is opening up new markets for the industry.
Very exciting to see how it will evolve. And we appreciate you taking the time here today to talk to our audience. I was just wondering, how do you think we can increase consumer awareness around Shea and all the different applications it's used in?
So for now, Shea is especially in the food industry, Shea is still a hidden ingredient, right? And increasing consumer awareness, I think, is a very important activity to undertake. I mean, I think it should be led by all of the industry stakeholders, the Global Shea Alliance, the chocolate companies, the suppliers, that is the companies that produce the CBE and sell. Through the different platforms available, right? Or social media, webinars, and documentaries showing that Shea has always been consumed, and then scientific evidence showing that it is good for your health. And I think it will catch up.
Well, thank you, Aaron, for taking the time to speak on Shea and some things you've just highlighted. We really appreciate you being here with us at Confectionery Live.
Thank you, Caitlin.